I caught my sister. She tried to steal a very expensive Rolex. I collect watches. I love watches. I know that I can't really trust her, but I forgot that I left it out, and lo and behold, I caught her red-handed. And you will not believe what our mother had to say. So, last night I had some people over to celebrate moving into my new place. I had some family and friends, including my sister and my mother. When I was growing up with my sister, she would often steal from myself and other family members. Money from my mom's purse or dad's wallet. She'd sneak into my room and take things, steal money from our grandparents. We aren't very close because of this, and I've always tried to keep an eye on her when she's around. Despite this, I decided to invite my sister over because she does not live too far away, and I know my mom would have been upset if I didn't. I put out all my watches and valuable stuff in my safe, but I left out the watch I planned on wearing that night, but ended up not wearing it and leaving it on my dresser. At one point during the party, my sister asked me where the bathroom was, and I pointed down the hallway and told her the bathroom was on the left. A couple minutes later, I went to grab something from my room. I saw her come out of my room as I was walking down the hall. She gave me this startled deer in the headlights look and said she was looking for the bathroom and walked away really quickly. I immediately got worried and went to do a quick look around in my room. I immediately noticed the watch was missing from on top of my dresser. This is not some cheap $20 watch. No, I'm a watch collector. I paid over $30,000 for it earlier this year. I left my room and went straight to my sister to confront her. I pulled her off to the side so it would not cause a scene and told her that I knew she took my watch, and if she gave it back right then and there, I would not call the police. She got extremely defensive and started yelling about how she didn't take crap from me, how I'm a jerk. Well, at this point, a lot of people were staring and listening to us. She told me she was leaving and started heading towards the door. I knew if she left, I might never see my watch again, so I grabbed her purse. And I dumped everything on the ground, and sure enough, there's my watch right there on the ground, with the rest of the stuff from her purse. My sister screamed at me and called me a freaking jerk, scooped up most of her stuff, and ran out of my place. My mom followed her and ended up not returning to the party. So, after an awkward rest of the party, I got a call from my mother. She was mad at me. I got some long lecture about how, quote, I did not need to humiliate my sister in front of everybody at the party. How she could not help herself and that my sister's crying and upset now because, quote, of the scene I caused. Well, she also got mad at me for going through my sister's purse and told me I should never look in a lady's purse and it was a complete invasion of privacy. First of all, I tried to pull my sister off to the side. She was the one who started yelling at me and causing a scene that made everybody look over at her. I also would not have gone through her purse if she did not steal from me and deny it and try to leave. I'm not just going to risk losing a $30,000 Rolex because, quote, I shouldn't look through a lady's purse. Now, my mom wants me to not only apologize to my sister, but to go and tell all the guests that there was this big misunderstanding and my sister did not take a thing. I'm not really sure what I should do about my mom. There's no way I'm going to apologize to my sister. She would be the one to apologize to me. And I'm certainly not going to lie to my guest about my sister of this awkward mess that she created for herself. I also don't know what to do about my sister. At this point, I'm pretty much just done with her. I think she would be the one to apologize to me, but I doubt she'll ever do that. Well, thanks in advance for all the advice you're going to give. Update number 1. Hey guys, I invited my mom to lunch so that we could discuss what happened at the party and where to go from there. I explained to her that my sister stole a very expensive watch from me. It wasn't just some cheap trinket, and it should not matter if it even was. So I tried to pull her away and confront her in private, but she chose to yell and curse at me and cause a scene. I also told her that I understand and it's never okay to look into someone's private purse bag. But that sort of etiquette kind of goes out the window when tens of thousands of dollars of my property is stolen and it's in her purse. My mom then went on a long rant about how we're all family and that her and my sister believed that a family should share in each other's success. She told me that my sister was just upset because I was, quote, hoarding all of my money for myself, and that it's understandable what she did. She even said that I would never have gotten where I am today without all the work she's put into raising me and the influence her and my sister had on my life. Then she went on to tell me that I owe it to her evenly to share my success with her and my sister, since we're family and they would certainly do the same in my position. That's a laugh. At this point, I'm pretty much dumbfounded. Not only because she thinks my sister's actions were somehow justified, but because she credits herself for my success and thinks it's selfish of me not to share with her and my sister. And don't even get me started on her trying to act like her and my sister would do the same. I know for a fact that my sister would not give me a dime, even if it were 10 cents short of a heart transplant. And my mom still owes me tens of thousands of dollars that she borrowed and swore she'd paid back. I mean, I don't expect it back and wrote it off as soon as I gave it to her. I just can't even fathom how my mom could actually think like that. And at this point, I was so furious and did not want to say anything that I'd regret. So I got up and I walked out. Oh yeah, I also got a text half an hour later saying that I owed her money for lunch since I was the one who invited her, despite the fact that neither of us even ordered before I left. As far as my sister goes, I haven't contacted her and she hasn't contacted me. At this point, I'm just done with her in my life. I don't know if I should do the same for my mother, though. I would hate to not have a relationship with her, but I just can't believe how she could possibly think those things. Would love some advice on what to do as far as my relationship with my mother goes. Thanks, everybody. Edit. Small update, thought I'd post it. So, she called me, but I didn't want to talk, so I let it go to voicemail. She left a voicemail telling me to check my email. Here's the email. First of all, it was very rude of you to walk out at me at the cafe. I was humiliated, and you should know better than that to treat your mother. As I said in the text, you owe me money for lunch since you were the one who invited me, so please bring $60 to give to me at Craig's Barbecue. It's a shame that I even needed to tell you this. I know I raised you better than that. But you really need to start supporting this family. We're all one, and the success of an individual needs to be spread around the family. Your sister works as a pastry chef and is always more than happy to bake for every single person and bring us treats from work. I wish you would do the same. You can start out by helping me with the new apartment I'm moving into. The rent, it's $4,250 per month, not including utilities. I'm planning on moving in around the 1st of September, so that gives you plenty of time to set up some sort of monthly bank transfer. I'm going to need $8,500 in about 2 weeks for the first and last month's rent. I'll also need you to cover some a few times this month, just to help me move some stuff over there, you know. Bring the bigger truck, unless that's manual because Todd doesn't know how to drive stick. As a thank you for moving my things over there, I'll cover the security deposit myself. You don't even have to worry about it. And you still have not apologized to your sister. So please get that done this week. It'll take about 5 minutes tops, so just get it done. It was wrong to humiliate her like that, and guess you had to be the one comforting her. Me, like usual. Text me to confirm that you've got everything, and let me know soon you can bring the big truck over. I should also mention that I currently pay for her rent. After some long guilt tripping about how she gave me free food and housing for 18 years, so it's time for me to repay the favor. I can clearly see now that was a big mistake. Now she's just assuming I'm going to pay her rent at some new huge place twice the cost. And what? She doesn't even need it. At this point, I'm done giving her any support. She's clearly just no appreciation for it. That's just a taste of how my mom acts. She's extremely entitled and just expects everything in life to be given to her. Last edit before the update. Another mini update. So, I just sent my mom an email letting her know that I'll not be giving her any money, and here's the gist of it. Mom, I'll not be paying the rent for the new, more expensive apartment you want to move in. Not only will I not be paying for that, but I won't be paying for your rent for your apartment anymore. You'll have to do that yourself. In addition to that, I'll not be giving you any money whatsoever. You've shown that you have no respect for me or the work it takes to earn money, and I cannot continue to pay for things that you don't need. I know this means cutting back a bit, but there's no reason for you to be living outside your means, and I won't subsidize your expensive living. I wrote it all out completely different, but that's the gist of what I told her. So, I'm just waiting for the freak out I'm sure is going to happen. Update number 2. After going through all the comments I've decided to send my mother an email, letting her know that I'll absolutely not be paying for the next new place that she plans to move to, and that I'll stop paying her rent altogether. I told her that she clearly does not respect me or the work that I put in order to be in the position to give her money that I do. I also told her that I would not be financially supporting her in any way. It took a few hours after I've sent the email and my phone starts to blow up. Calls over and over again. I still really didn't want to talk to her, so I ignored them all. A little while later, I get a call from a friend, Dave. Except when I answer the phone, it's my mom. I found out later from Dave that she showed up at the bike shop he works at and made up some story about a story of her locking her purse with her phone and keys in the car and needing to call me for a ride. She immediately goes off on me about how ungrateful I am and that she's disgusted by the email I sent, etc. She told me it's my duty to make sure she's well cared for and comfortable, as she's the reason I'm here in the first place. The worst part was when she told me that if she knew I was going to end up this way, that she would have put her life on hold for the last 2 decades in order to have me, and that I cost her a job and my dad and my bunch of her other life plans. I couldn't even get a word in with all her yelling. The last thing she said was something along the lines of, "You need to have a come to Jesus moment and realize how much you're hurting your own mother. I've already packed up most of my stuff and have spent a ton of time setting this move up. I expect the $8,500 before the weekend's over and a cashier's check, so let me know when you have it." And then she hung up. I don't think I've ever been so mad in my entire life. She pretty much just told me I need to make up everything she's missed out in order to have me give her the money and make sure she's taken care of. I called her back and she tried to start talking, and I don't remember exactly what I said because, to be honest with you, I was so angry. But I basically told her to shut the heck up and let me talk, but with more swearing and yelling. I'm usually pretty calm and would never swear at my mother. I would never even swear near her, and I know I shouldn't have said that, but I wasn't thinking straight. I told her she better find another place to live or pay her rent because she wasn't getting another dime from me. I turned off my phone after that because I didn't want to deal with any more calls or text. I eventually needed to use my phone, so I turned it back on, and I just blocked her number. I saw that I had some calls and messages from her, but I didn't want to look at them. This morning, I got a call from the front desk in my building, telling me that my mother has tried to get up to my room. But I already told the elevator staff and security to take her off the guest list. Apparently, she caused quite the fuss when they wouldn't let her up. She's blocked on my phone now, so I haven't heard from her today. But I expect her to blow up on me again for what happened this morning. I think she's probably in denial and thinks that I'll cave and pay for her new place. I'm worried about what she's going to do when the deadline for her to pay for her new place comes up, and I refuse to give her the money. The move-in date's pretty soon, and I'm sure she has to pay it pretty soon. I'm actually surprised she hasn't had to pay already. So that's going to cause a massive crap storm, and I'm really worried about what she's going to do. Anyways, thanks again for all the advice. Update number 3. Third and final update. I've recently decided to go ahead and do it. Cut my mother off completely. She'd made plans to move into a new apartment, assuming that I would be paying for it a little less than a year ago. I decided to move to a bigger place after my lease ended. This was right around the time my mother was moving to San Francisco. She really liked my old place and suggested that she should just move in there. My landlord wanted to increase the rent after my lease was up, but she agreed to keep it the same if I prepaid for a year. The plan was for my mom to pay me rent monthly. Well, that never ended up happening, and now my mom just assumes that I'll be paying for her rent. She's made plans to move to a bigger, nicer place and sent me an email saying that she needed a check for $8,500 to cover the move cost. Some things come up within a week involving my sister and my mother, and I've decided just to completely cut her off. No rent money, and no money for anything else. Well, she's furious, of course, and has really gone off the deep end. I'm worried that once she realizes that I'm not going to give in, she might try using my personal info to order a loan, or something like that. I've also been told that California has some sort of laws that might mean she can take me to court and force me to pay her rent. I was wondering if this is true, and would it qualify for this? Alright guys, so let's just go ahead and jump into one of the heated comments. It's about entitlement. Entitlement is usually how it works. If a mother favors one sibling, the least favored one usually goes on to have empathy. My mother favored my sister and made her a whipping. I was punished for anything that she was caught doing. I got a job at 14 and unwittingly became the breadwinner of the family by 16. Then she also went ahead and got me a car with my money. Because, quote, your sister will need a car in 2 years and you can give it to her then. I've cut off the whole family since, and by the way, her gambling problem without my income caused her to lose her house and get divorced, and my sister occasionally reaches out demanding money and telling me how selfish and entitled I am for ignoring her. So guys, if you have a similar situation story just like this commenter, go ahead and post yours down below. In my opinion, I think that the mother was just enabling OP's sister by making her think that it's okay. It's never okay to steal, especially something worth thousands of dollars. If OP would have decided to press charges, it would have been a very high felony. Okay guys, that's all the stories for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.